y'all, my name's Corey. This is my mother, Jerry Beth, and she's floss tubing today. Woohoo!
So my greeting was brought to you today from my youngest daughter, Corey. She walked in as I was starting my floss tube this afternoon and decided she would try to be funny. So I decided I would include that little clip as my opening today. She really doesn't talk that redneck. Hello everyone, it's Jerry Caudell, the Yankee Creek Stitcher. I'm back for Flossmas Day 8, and today I'm going to do kind of a vlog style to share with you my day. I had mentioned earlier this week that I like to hibernate, especially on the weekends. I pretty much don't leave the house. Sundays we'll go to church in the morning, but other than that, I don't like to leave the house. I'll get in my big comfy clothes and house shoes, have all my Christmas lights turned on, my fireplace going, well, my fake fireplace, but it makes it warm and cozy in here. My big, huge snowman mug. It does have my warm apple cider in there with maybe a touch of caramel vodka, just to have a relaxing Saturday. I have a couple things I'm going to do today. This morning I stitched for a couple of hours on my day 7 Lizzie Kate stocking. I've got the top part of it done, and it is so cute. I picked out all my own colors, color conversion. I'll share those with you later. And I picked out the chart I'm going to work on today, and I'll show you that later when I start stitching on that. So I've got a couple hours stitching already under my belt. So I've got up to take a break. I've got the Christmas Story movie playing in the background. My husband loves that movie. He'll be home soon from work. He had to work this morning. So now what I'm going to get started on is a girl that works for me at the store. She has a big sweet tooth like me. Her birthday is tomorrow. And last year around Christmas, I don't know what I had specifically made it for. I had made I think it's called a cranberry Christmas cake that I found on Pinterest. It's really uniquely made, but it is so soft, and it's almost like a light, fluffy biscuit consistency with the cranberries in it. It is delicious, and it is mouth-watering to even think of it. And I was trying to think of a reason to make it this year. And she had mentioned a couple weeks ago, for each person's birthday at the store, we'll either make a dessert or buy a cake from the store or whatever. But she had mentioned to me a few weeks ago, she's like, now you know what I want you to make for my birthday, right? And I was like, what? And she said, that cranberry cake. I was like, oh, yes, because it was so great. I was trying to think of a reason to make it anyway. So I said, I will do that. So I'm actually going to make 2. She will actually eat a whole pan of it herself, and she is a tiny little thing. So because we usually make it, you know, one big dessert for everybody at the store to take part of, but she actually wants her own that she can take home with her and eat herself. So I'm going to do that for her. I'm actually going to make 2 of those today. So I will show you the recipe a little bit later and show you the finished product. So I'm gonna work on that now, and then I have a sewing project I want to work on. I found the pattern the other day on Pinterest, and I thought, you know, that's something quick. It's the instructions is for a table runner, but I'm gonna make it. It's actually blocks a Christmas tree, so I'm gonna make 4 blocks to make it into a little wall hanging. I'm wanting to get back into my my sewing bug, so that'll get me. I've already got some of the fabrics pulled for that, and so I need to get it orientated and start cutting on that. So after I get this cakes done, I'm gonna head to my studio, and I'll show you that later. And probably round out the evening, probably going to go get pizza for dinner or something warm and yummy like that. And probably get a movie. And so this evening I'll be back to my little stitching spot on my couch and probably stitch for a couple more hours on today's chart, which I'll share with you a little bit later. So that's my plans for today. So I'll pop in and out, show you what's going on as I'm doing them. So right now I'm in my cozy kitchen, and going to start putting these couple of cakes together. So I'll see you in a bit. So this is the cake I'm going to make, the cranberry Christmas cake. It's on Pinterest, but the website that it is on is www.barefeetinthekitchen.com. And there's special instructions for it because it doesn't use any leavening. It doesn't have soda or baking soda or baking powder or salt. The leavening comes from mixing the eggs, and I think it's the eggs with the sugar. You have to beat it for like 5 to 7 minutes. It actually will double in size and be really thick. And by the time you add the flour to it, it's a really thick dough. Almost like I said, it's almost like a biscuit consistency. But when you bake it, you can see in the photo here, it looks like it has maybe sugar or a glaze on top of it. But no, that's from when you mix the eggs and the sugar for that amount of time. When you put it into the pan and as it bakes, it actually forms that sugary crust on the top itself. Like I said, it is amazing. The consistency of it is so good, and it has quite a bit of sugar in the dough part of it, so it offsets the tartness of the cranberries. It's a perfect complement for the sugar and the cranberries when they come together. So as I mix it up through here and before I bake it, I'll show you how it looks. So here's cake number 1. It is very thick. It's thicker than what I remembered. It's more like cookie dough when it goes in, but trust me, it is so light and fluffy when it gets done baking. And I also put on a pot of my apple cider. Got to make a couple more jugs. So this will pop in the oven, and I'm going to work on my second one. And then I'll be heading to my studio. I'll see you in there. So I've got the cakes in the oven, and they just have a few minutes left after I got all cleaned up. For some reason, you know, the flour just gets slung everywhere. But anyway, I've moved on to my studio. And like I said, yesterday I had found on Pinterest, I love doing table runners, as I showed you some of my finishes and the little wall hangings that I got behind me. But this is the one I found on Pinterest with the Christmas trees and those little wonky stars. And it's actually a pattern. Well, this lady had kind of changed it up to make hers look like this, which is really similar to the actual pattern. And she had referenced the pattern. And so I found it on Craftsy, and I purchased it, downloaded it, printed it out, and I'm getting ready to cut out, like I said, I think I'm going to do 4 of the trees and put them, you know, of course, instead of doing the table runner layout, doing 4 trees upright with the stars. I love those wonky stars. And I'm going to try to make my trees a little wonky. I like wonky. Cross stitch is such perfection. It's nice to be able to sew and do some wonky things. So I've gathered up some Christmassy colored prints, the greens, reds. See what I can come up with all these different fabrics here. And I need to get some yellows for my stars. So I'm going to go through there, get that organized, cut out my fabrics, and hopefully at least maybe get a block together today. So I'm just waiting for my cakes to come out of the oven. It's smelling really good. And husband should be home anytime, so we'll decide on some dinner plans and go from there. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I have got all my fabric, the tree color fabric anyway. I had to pick up 20 different tree fabrics, which I've cut down to my 21-inch strips by 2.5-inch wide. And I got on my background, I decided on, it's a shimmery gold dot on a cream or ivory colored background. So I will be starting my stitching on that tomorrow. And the cross stitch chart that I'm starting this evening is the Primitive Hare, the Yule Queen, I bought this from Julie at Gulf Coast Stitches several months ago, and it's probably 6 or 8 months ago, because I purchased the fabric I wanted to use for this chart from Hodgepodge. I got quite a bit of fabric from Hodgepodge while we were there this summer. This is 32 count pearl gray that I had bought specifically for this chart, and it calls all for DMC colors, except the gray that's in her dress. The lighter gray that's in her dress calls for barn gray. And I got that. I don't remember if I purchased that. Actually, it's the darker gray in her dress. I purchased that. I think I ended up getting that at the Finishing Touch, my Ellen-ness in Louisville. So I'm anxious to get stitching on that. It's about 6 o'clock in the evening. My daughter is picking up pizza for us from Charlestown Pizza Company. It's a local little pizza joint in town, and it is delicious. It's not a chain, so it's homemade crust, and it is our favorite pizza. So she's picking that up. She'll be here in just a few minutes, and I'll show you the finishing of the cakes. My 2 cranberry cakes are done. My husband's getting ready to work out a little bit, and then we'll probably settle in for the evening, maybe playing cards or maybe watching a movie. Haven't decided yet, so either way I'll be able to stitch a little bit as we're doing either one of those. So I'll touch back in a little. So this is the finished cake. You can see it looks like it has a slight glaze over it, but that's just the way it bakes up, and it has just a lovely little crunch right there on the top. And like I said, the tartness of the cranberries with as much sugar as you put into the cake part of the cake it is perfection. It's great. So I've got those 2 I'll slice up and put in some pans and take to her tomorrow for her birthday. And the rest of the evening we'll have a dinner and just have cozy time at home, watching a movie or playing, I don't know, cards or a game that we like to play. That's the way we like to spend our weekends in the wintertime. So until tomorrow, Merry Christmas and enjoy your night.